It's Prospector Show on Rock 107. Good morning, I'm Prospector.
Good morning, I'm Kate.
And social media is a virtual wasteland filled with stupidity, idiotic people spewing out comments with way more confidence than they should be allowed to have. We've collected that vacancy for you in something we're calling We Are All Doomed on Rock 107.
How many numbers are in the alphabet?
I thought Neil Armstrong was that guy from How I Met Your Mother. Guess he was famous before he got the show. We're all doomed on Rock 107.
With history, how do you know if all those things occurred if you weren't there to witness it? Hashtag, you don't.
If I owned Subway, I'd sue New York City for taking that name for their trains. What does getting somewhere have to do with sandwiches? We're all doomed on Rock 107.
I never saw the pyramids as much of an accomplishment. Seems dumb to be stacking rocks.
If there's a new moon every month, where does the old moon go? We are all doomed on Rock 107. You're probably just like me on this. Good morning, it's Prospector Show on Rock 107. Now, Kate, will you be dressing up for Halloween this year?
I will be.
Really? What are you wearing? What are you doing?
So I've got two. I might wear my traditional German garb that I only wore to Oktoberfest or a Marvel villain.
Okay. Now, you are in the majority if you're like me. But if you're like Kate, because I won't be dressing up.
I know.
You're certainly not alone.
A new Halloween poll found around 1 in 4 adults will throw on a costume this year. 22% dressed up last year, and 27% are planning to do it this time around.
What happened to just drinking some pumpkin beer, handing out candy to the kids, huh? What happened to that?
It didn't look at specific costumes people are planning, but it did look at types of costumes, so here they are.
Okay.
A fictional person or character, 44% said their costume fits in that category.
So it's like superheroes, wizards, whatever.
Like what I was doing.
Basically, you're pretending to be somebody who doesn't even exist. You're not Batman, okay? Steve, you're from accounting. Get the spandex off. Knock it off.
An animal or creature, 19%.
Look, I'm a giraffe. Oh, great, Dave. We were just talking about how you needed longer legs and spots.
A concept, 16%.
16% of people are doing a concept? Mm-hmm. What is that even? I'm going as existential dread this year? What does it even look like? Are you just standing in the corner staring into the void all night? Hey, man, what are you dressed at? Oh, I'm late-stage capitalism. Look, just put on cat ears if you're going to be in a costume and call it a day.
39% would describe their costume as creative. 30% said simple, and 30% said funny.
Creative. Yeah, sure. You slap some aluminum foil on your head, now you're an alien. Wow, you're pushing the boundaries there, Picasso.
Only 23% are planning a scary costume this year, and 13% said, quote unquote, they are planning on wearing a sexy costume this year.
Here's my favorite. The 23% are going for the scary costumes this year. You know why? Because real life's scary enough. Who needs a vampire when your impress has gone through the roof? Oh, a ghost is going to go boo. You know what? My mortgage is already scaring me, buddy. We don't need this. And now you got the 13% going for sexy. So I guess it's a sexy nurse or a sexy witch or something like that. Some things shouldn't be sexy. Like, have you ever seen a sexy pizza costume? They actually have that. What are we doing here? How desperate are we? I already want to eat you. I don't need to want to you-know-what you.
Breaking the news that's already broken. It's time for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
The NBA season kicked off last night, as did the heavy drinking by Detroit Pistons fans. Jelly Roll quit Twitter for being toxic. The anxiety was written all over his face. Literally, he had anxiety tattooed across his forehead. Stanley Tucci went on a rant against people wearing sweatpants in public, so I'm going to strongly advise him not to fly Southwest anytime soon.
Making sure breaking news stays broken. Tune in tomorrow for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
Get this. A new poll shows that the Yankees, my beloved New York Yankees, are both the most beloved and most hated team in the country. Both. It's Prospector Show on Rock 107. Good morning, I'm Prospector.
Good morning, I'm Kate. 10% of Americans root for the Yankees, and 29% of them have an unfavorable view of them.
Are you laughing at my take me out to the ballgame?
No, it's so nice. I love it. But I am part of the 29%.
That's fine. That's okay. It doesn't matter. Like, how do you have so many people rooting against you? It's got to feel weird. Like, imagine you walk into the room and 3 out of 10 people are saying, oh, it's that guy. And trust me, people hate me. I get it.
Now, the Dodgers, only 4% of people root for the Dodgers, while 26% of them have a unfavorable view of them.
4%, that's like barely anybody. That's like maybe your immediate family and the guy who lives next door to you who, you bring the garbage cans in for him every week, so he thinks you're an all right dude.
And these two teams are squaring off in the World Series starting Friday night.
Honestly, I just picture the rest of America having to watch this series, being forced into it and being like, do I really got to pick a side here? It's like being forced to choose between eating a plain salad or listening to someone talk about how they're on a gluten-free diet. I guess I'll take the salad. I'm just not thrilled about it.
So, yeah, this World Series is going to be dandy.
New York Yankees went to town hoping for some cheeros, but to all the Dodgers fans, they're nothing but some zeros. Yankee team you love to hate, LA is the same thing. World Series back and forth, and TV loves the ratings.
Get this. A new poll shows that the Yankees, my beloved New York Yankees, are both the most beloved and most hated team in the country. Both. It's Prospector Show on Rock 107. Good morning, I'm Prospector.
Good morning, I'm Kate. 10% of Americans root for the Yankees, and 29% of them have an unfavorable view of them.
Are you laughing at my take me out to the ballgame?
No, it's so nice. I love it. But I am part of the 29%.
That's fine. That's okay. It doesn't matter. Like, how do you have so many people rooting against you? It's got to feel weird. Like, imagine you walk into the room and 3 out of 10 people are saying, oh, it's that guy. And trust me, people hate me. I get it.
Now, the Dodgers, only 4% of people root for the Dodgers, while 26% of them have a unfavorable view of them.
4%, that's like barely anybody. That's like maybe your immediate family and the guy who lives next door to you who, you bring the garbage cans in for him every week, so he thinks you're an all right dude.
And these two teams are squaring off in the World Series starting Friday night.
Honestly, I just picture the rest of America having to watch this series, being forced into it and being like, do I really got to pick a side here? It's like being forced to choose between eating a plain salad or listening to someone talk about how they're on a gluten-free diet. I guess I'll take the salad. I'm just not thrilled about it.
So, yeah, this World Series is going to be dandy.
Northeast PA's Classic Rock 107. Good morning, I'm Prospector.
Good morning, I'm Kate.
And Kate, it's time for us to just kind of understand each other a little bit better.
I know, we try so hard.
Yeah, I think it's important because as all of us will be spending more time with each other in the coming days with the weekend coming up on Friday, let's get inside each other's heads.
Let's start with the ladies.
And now it's time for another episode of 1 Minute Inside a Woman's Head.
We're having an office Halloween party this weekend. What do I go as? I already have the Bride of Frankenstein costume, but the last time I wore that, it took me 3 hours to get ready. And by 10 o'clock, my makeup was peeling and it looked like I had leprosy. I could go as a political candidate and make a statement, but those plastic masks are always so hot and you have to keep pulling them off to eat mini meatballs and chicken skewers. I could take the easy route, tape a quarter to my back and be a quarterback, or put on an eye patch and be a pirate. But let's be honest, that's not cute, and I'm trying to get the hot guy in IT to notice me. I want to make Jimmy jealous. Yep, I'm going to stop by the party store and buy a costume. I'll grab whatever they have in my size. Or one size smaller. I hope I still have those fishnets.
And that was another episode of 1 Minute Inside a Woman's Head.
If you hear that and you're thinking, well, there it is. There's Rock 107's Prospector. What kind of male chauvinist pig is he? Kate, that's not true, is it?
No.
Not most of the time, anyway.
Not most of the time.
All right, so let's prove it. We'll make fun of the men after the break. Northeast PA's Classic Rock 107. It's Prospector Show. And Kate, just before the commercials, we did something really nice.
Spent a little time in a woman's head.
Now it is time for the male perspective, though.
So an even shorter amount of time.
Look, the male's attention span, we all know, it's much shorter.
Life's pretty tough right now. There's plenty of bad news, but it's not all bad. It's time for the brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
A wild cockatoo flew into a grocery store in Sydney, Australia, and was stuck inside for almost a month. The cockatoo couldn't find his way out and wouldn't let anyone catch him. A manager kept him alive by leaving bread and water out each night. Eventually, they did catch him by bringing in a second cockatoo named Doris. She calmed him down enough that they were both caught. A shelter is taking care of him with plans to release him back into the wild soon.
Thanks. We needed that. The brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
And now it's time for another episode of A Few Seconds Inside a Man's Head.
Can't believe we're having an office Halloween party. I bet none of the women wear anything hot. Huh? What am I going to wear? I got it. I'll tape a quarter to my back and go as a quarterback. Genius.
And that was another episode of A Few Seconds Inside a Man's Head.
Ladies and gentlemen, grab the kids, call your neighbors, and gather around the radio.
It's now time to announce the winner of Prospector's Jam Bag of the Day, as decided by you at rock107.com.
We uncover the most baffling, ridiculous, pathetic, cockeyed, laughable, preposterous blunders in the world of misdeeds. Nominee number 1.
Your 12-year-old niece isn't the only one who would lie, cheat, and steal to see Taylor Swift. A 44-year-old man in Florida got arrested on Friday for posing as a security guard to get into a Taylor Swift show near Miami. His name is Ivan Mariotti. Actual security guards called police after they saw him down near the floor/field area. So pretty good seats, you know. He was in a suit, had a badge around his neck, and he told cops he'd been hired by 4 women to escort them to the Eras Tour show, but he didn't have a ticket. Cops talked to the women, who confirmed they did pay him to drive them there, but they didn't hire him for security, and they don't know why he had a badge. He's listed as a rideshare driver in the police report, and he's facing charges for impersonating an officer and interfering with a sporting or entertainment event.
Nominee number 2.
I'm pretty sure she wouldn't have gotten the money anyway. A North Dakota woman was sentenced to 25 years in prison for poisoning her boyfriend after mistakenly believing he had inherited $30 million and planned to break up with her. Ina Thea Kanor, 48, was convicted of murdering Stephen Riley Jr., 51, who died last year from poisoning using the same toxin found in antifreeze. She was sentenced to 25 years last Wednesday after she pled guilty in May. The tragic twist here is there is likely no inheritance in the first place. Officials say she poisoned Riley just hours after she found out from an email that he was supposedly going to inherit $30 million. But the victim's 21-year-old son told newspapers that the couple had unwillingly fallen victim to an online scam, and there was never any money.
And the winner is
the woman who poisoned her boyfriend because she thought he inherited tons of money and was going to dump her. Turned out the inheritance was fake and it was an online scam, but she's the Yam Bag of the Day. And we'll move on to Friday's Yam Bag of the Week competition. Keep it here for all the nominees for Prospector's Yam Bag of the Day, weekday mornings on Rock 107. Thanks for listening to Prospector's Prime Cuts podcast. Be sure to catch us live weekdays from 5:30 to 10 a.m. on Rock 107 or online at rock107.com or the Rock 107 app. A free download for your Android or iPhone. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, or wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss Prospector's Prime Cuts.